My name is Daniel Long. I am a photographer based here in the Cairngorms National Park. I am a landscape and nature photographer, and today I've come out into Rothiemurchus Forest because it looks like it should be good for some forest conditions. As you can see, there's a bit of fog behind me where the midges are out in force, and it's quite annoying. So this is my first upload onto YouTube, but it's not my first film. Back in March, I filmed 3 videos in preparation for starting a YouTube channel about photography. But then, of course, as everyone knows, the coronavirus pandemic sort of blew out of control. So that sort of put my plans on hold quite a bit, as many photographers, including myself, found it difficult to go out and to take pictures. So over the past few weeks, I did a load of stuff on the computer, editing pictures, organising files, stuff that everyone needs to do, basically, trying to keep myself busy. But in the last 2 weeks, I've been getting increasingly frustrated. I'm lacking motivation, and it's getting pretty hard. And I don't think I'm the only one with this problem, to be honest. I think everyone is struggling a bit now. It's been going on for so long that it's become quite difficult. So I'm taking the opportunity today to hopefully restart my ambitions for a YouTube channel, and to just have a go and try and get some images. I hope I can get something decent, but I'm not sure about the conditions. It's very wet, so just bear with me. Bit of low-hanging branches with rain on. And so yeah, today we've got a bit of a mix of fog and rain, and I'm hoping for some nice misty conditions in the forest, in the heart of the forest. Yeah, I'm just looking around. Nothing here, although these lovely juniper bushes around me. But anyway, so over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to upload the videos that I recorded back in March. There's going to be in the description there'll be a little thing saying film pre-coronavirus, because they are with a little bit beyond where you could go, but it should be pretty obvious because they're winter conditions, so there's a lot of snow about. But we'll just have to push on with what's going on now. So at the moment in Scotland, we have a 5-mile limit on where we can go, which isn't too bad because I live in the heart of the national park. Within that 5-mile limit, there's quite a lot of decent places. There's a fence coming up, so I'm just going to... So, as I was saying, there's a 5-mile limit on where we can go. But as I'm in the heart of the Cairngorms National Park, that gives me quite a lot of range. There's a lot of good places nearby that I can explore. The other obvious problem is weather, getting the right conditions for decent images. So, as many people know, the forest is particularly good in fog and mist. So that's what I'm hoping for today. So I've been having trouble predicting this fog and mist, to be honest. I spent ages poring over weather apps the last few days. I finally think I've got good conditions for it, and it's sort of drizzling and raining, and it's very light fog, if anything. But hopefully, as the morning goes on, it will get a little better. Yeah, the other thing is that we're coming into summer, which is my worst period for photography And I don't think I'm alone in saying this. For a lot of landscape photographers, the summer is really terrible because you have to get up stupidly early, go to bed stupidly late. There's not a lot of interest in the landscape, you know, there's no snow over the mountains, it looks very flat and dull. It doesn't mean that photography can't be done, I just think it makes it a bit more difficult. So, you know, we got to live with what we have. That's all we can do, isn't it? I'm going to keep an eye on weather forecast, try and predict some decent sunrises and sunsets over the coming weeks. I've got a few locations in mind and we'll see how things go. So the conditions are not being very useful. There's so many midges. I'm putting a midge net on right now. Oh, the beauties of Scotland. I've never really had much luck with midge nets, but here we go. I know you can't see me. Anyway, so the conditions are not brilliant. The mist is not as thick as I would like it to be. It's a bit too thin and drizzly. There's so much rain. It's sort of making it quite difficult to find a composition. I think I found one though over there. There's some nice bog cotton, some trees, a little bit of mist, and I think I'll try that for my first image. But I might head back to the car and go to a second location because I think the mist will be a bit thicker higher up in altitude. So if I go further up the mountain road, I should hopefully get some forest with a bit thicker fog. But these midges are driving me absolutely mad. So fingers crossed I can actually get something. I mean, this is pretty weird, wearing a midge net whilst on camera. But please bear with me. So that little escapade did not work out. Once I got down there, I really couldn't see a composition like I thought I could. It was a bit too miserable. Yeah, I'm getting a bit frustrated, so this is not making for a brilliant first YouTube video, I must admit. The other three that I filmed hopefully will make up for it. So on my way back to the car, as I'm going to go try a second location, I just want to talk about those three real quick. A bit deep. So I'm going to remove this midge net. It's annoying me just as much as the midges. That's better. Oh. So those first three videos. The first one I filmed, which you're going to see next, was a sunrise and sunset shoot at Loch Morlich, which is a beautiful loch just up the road from here. I made quite a lot of mistakes. I was a bit nervous, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. And you know, it is what it is. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? So that was my first video. The second one is some forest photography at Loch Garten in Abernethy Forest, and that was a beautiful morning. There was some snow, some lovely golden light, and all sorts going on. So I got itchy midge bites. And this is another reason why Scotland in the summer is not the best place to be. Anyway, so I have those two videos that are landscape photography as the main subject in a couple places around Scotland. The third video, I'm not sure if it's that good. It was quite difficult organising the camera and whatnot, because I went and did some red deer photography using the car as a mobile hide. So, you know, the images I quite liked, I must admit. There's a couple there that I was really happy with, but the filming of taking those images was a bit more difficult, almost as difficult as today. So yeah, I'm gonna head off back to the car and drive up and spot for a second location. But it's not working out this morning, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to get anything. And that's sort of what this vlog is about. Is literally what it's meant to be. I'm filming my days out, taking pictures. You know, I'm a photographer, that's what I do. So I just wanted to bring you along as a viewer. So there will be better days ahead, especially when the conditions are a bit better. So please subscribe. It will encourage me to keep making videos, and if you have the time, you could also check out my website, which is drlphotography.co.uk. You can look through my images from around Scotland, wildlife and landscape. You can also have a look through articles I've written about photography tips, techniques, technical details, all that sort of jumble stuff on my website. And if you like any of my images, you can have a look around the shop and hopefully buy a print. It would be much appreciated, as I said, most photographers are struggling right now. It's been difficult to go out and get work and to create images, which is why we do this, isn't it, really? So yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I'm just heading to a second location, and I'll catch back up with you up there. So I've driven round a bit trying to find another location where the conditions were what I was after, but it's just not working out. It's getting worse. The thin mist that there was is lifting. There was some horrible heavy rain, and it's just really not going to plan today, which is such a shame. You know, this is going to be my first YouTube video uploaded, and it is not going to feature any photography, which is kind of the whole point. But this is the life, to be honest. I'm not the only one that has to deal with this. You know, there are days where you go out, you plan everything to a T, you go out and it just doesn't materialize the way you want it to. It's a harsh reality, to be honest, but you know, a bit of luck is necessary in this sort of business, and you've got to have some inspiration. Like, I'm just getting a bit worn out today. Getting a bit frustrated because it's not going to plan. I'm quite soaked through, even with waterproofs. I've got midge bites all over the place, and I'm just getting a bit annoyed and grumpy. So I think it's better to pull the plug now than to keep trying and try and get a picture that I'm not going to be happy with. You know, to some extent, it doesn't make sense to take a picture just to take a picture. You know, if it's going to be a bad composition and bad conditions, then there's no point. Except as a test shot, maybe. But hey ho, it happens. This happens a lot more than I would care to admit. And I'm sure there's a lot of photographers out there. You know, there's a lot of videos that portray being a photographer as this magical excursion that you always get the perfect conditions, and that's not true. You know, it takes a lot to get those conditions. And you know, today was, as I said, I've been having trouble predicting the fog, and this is just another example of that. It's really hard to predict, and it's just a bit too wet for it to give the conditions that I wanted. So hopefully on my next photography excursion things will go a bit better, a bit more according to plan. Hopefully I'll actually take a picture. But the next 3 videos that are upcoming, I did manage to take some pictures, I'm happy to say, and I hope you enjoy those. And I'm just going to keep going. Now that the restrictions are lifting a bit, I've got some ideas of places that I want to go for some images. I've just got to get the conditions. So I think later in the week there's going to be some more sunny, nicer, cloudy conditions that might prove to be very good sunrises. So fingers crossed that later in the week I can get a decent video. In the meantime, please enjoy the upcoming 3 videos over the next 2 weeks. Don't forget to subscribe. If you do enjoy those videos, I don't think you're going to enjoy this one. Prove me wrong in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. So, following yesterday's bit of a disappointing morning, the weather just really wasn't working out. When I got up this morning, there were some beautiful misty conditions. Images are being very annoying, but the landscape is being amazing.